yes, a response to V. Now, I hate to break it to all of you, I have no intention of starting trouble with the Romanian troll, but he made a video called Why Are There So Many Racists in Geekdom? And yes, it is linked down below. Feel free to go and watch it and subscribe to V. He does excellent content. But I would like to give my take on some things he said here.
Aren't you guys sick and tired of how many racists there are into our Geekdom community? I never thought that I would talk about this, but if you can think of a better word than racist for a person that wants all the characters that they see in video gaming and entertainment to be of their race, and they freak out whenever a character that is of their race is being made white, how can you call that besides a racist? Like, they can't enjoy entertainment unless they're being antagonistic, because they will be incredibly upset when a character that is of their race is made white, and they even have a word for it, it's called whitewashing. But whenever a white person is upset that, you know, Ariel, which is a character from a fairy tale, it's got years of heritage, and it's made into a different race, they will attack the white person, right? Like, they're not upset about the company or anything, or, you know, the concept. No, they will actually attack the person on Twitter for doing it. And this is at the end, by the way. Like, once a character is made black, they will attack artists that draw it differently. Like, I have made a video where an artist drew Ariel as original, and she was attacked heavily by the Twitter community. There have been cosplayers which weren't allowed to cosplay because we live in a medieval society, and now you need to have the birthright in order to use emojis or cosplaying. Like, if you're not born in the correct right, you're not allowed, right? You're the peasantry. And it's always Democrat supporters that do this. Like, I noticed overwhelmingly, like, I don't see Republicans do the opposite. Like, I don't see people demanding that characters who are black, like Blade from Marvel, be made into a white character. And then they would attack people that draw it differently, or they would attack cosplayers that, you know, have a different skin color and try to cosplay as the character. I don't see that happen. Like, if you do, please let me know. But, this is the current year, right? Like, they will say, well, it happened back then. Yeah, but we live now. Yeah, but, like, we need reparations for the stuff that happened back then. Well, yeah, but, like, you race swapped so many characters. When is it enough? Like, how many more do you need until you say, okay, you know what? Like, fine. Like, we reached the point. Once a character is established, it should be made canon, and it should be left alone. No more gender swapping, no more race swapping, no more this outrage-based marketing where you just anger people in order to create social media buzz because the company is too cheap to pay for marketing. So they want the outrage to market the product.
Harry Troll can cram in quite a lot in under 3 minutes, can't he? That's more than I do anyway. But the race-swapping phenomenon, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't think it's racism really, and I'll try and explain why. If we go by the classic definition of racism, if it still exists somewhere, probably not in this timeline, but anyway. Nevertheless, it still rests on this element of superiority. Now, to me, being a white South African and all, once you start introducing quantifiable elements into the mix a la available metrics, yeah, then the element of superiority becomes less feeling and more fact. And yes, I'm aware I'm treading very murky waters here. Now, I don't think racism is even real. As I've said before, it's culture. So let's use product as a synonym for it because it still gels rather nicely with our scenario here. For me, superiority is the creation of something superior, hence why it's called superiority. All with me so far? Good, I'm glad you're on board. And when they crack out these distortions, these mutilations, it's not creation, and if the fanbase reaction is anything to go by, it's not superior either. It's just bastardization. So I can't really call it racism, it's more, I don't quite have an apt phrase for it. Subversive parasitism, maybe? Although that is quite a mouthful. Now as for why these brain-dead gimps behave like a bunch of drunken zombies, it's the product of the regime we live under. They have a feeling of personal fulfillment in being complete wankers to everyone else who disagrees with them. Why? Because they're lefties and their lives suck. They have no power, no marketable skills or social skills, so their only joy in life is to rob everyone else of theirs. Nasty people, really. Like little gremlins who chuck paint on beautiful pieces of art. Although these days we call them climate f***s. See, this is the reason I can't get upset at this, because again, they have no skills, they have unfulfilled lives, they feed off misery and depression, everything they touch tanks, and the only thing people hate more than the discolored mutilations they crank out are the people like them who keep advocating for more of it. And what makes it worse, the disapproval of others for their bastardization is also what keeps them stuck in this perpetual feedback loop. It's a tragedy, really, so I can't feel hatred for that. It just arouses this feeling of pity in me. They're but the toxic manifestations of the regime, useful idiots. If you had a different regime where this behavior wasn't rewarded, it would likely fade away like an obsolete currency. Which leads us finally to the marketing, and this is the one area where I sort of disagree with V. I don't think it's a fiscal concern so much. I think it's because their marketing would suck ass, and it is far, far more effective to drive controversy to their bastardizations rather than sit through marketing that they know people are going to hate and be put off by either way. So why not use their little rage-baiting peons? That's the one thing they do that might actually make some sense. Cheers for watching, and once again, I apologize for nothing.